Hello, Lauren here, and Halloween is coming up, so I decided to decorate a pumpkin with, what else, a hand-lettered Harry Potter quote. Anything's possible if you've got enough nerve, which Ginny Weasley said about growing up with her brothers Fred and George, is one of my all-time favorite Harry Potter quotes. Today I'm going to walk you through my process of hand-lettering this onto a fake pumpkin so I can keep displaying it year after year, but feel free to use a real pumpkin if that's your jam. I started out by measuring the front middle section of the pumpkin to figure out how much room I'll have to write in, and I cut a piece of scrap paper that size. Then I quickly wrote out the quote to figure out how I want to space it and where I want the line breaks to be. Once I was happy with that, I lightly wrote the quote onto the pumpkin with pencil. I wasn't really precise with following the sketch, and I actually ended up unhappy with a few things and tried to erase them. It didn't totally remove the marks, but it was okay in the end because once the words were all inked, the pencil lines were a lot less noticeable. To paint on the quote, I'm using these Sharpie paint pens, specifically the extra fine black oil-based one. This may have been a little too fine for this size pumpkin, but it's the only black paint pen I have right now, so go with whatever you think is best for yours. I use a faux calligraphy style of lettering, so I start out by simply tracing the pencil. Then, once I get to the end of a line, I go back and add a thick line to the downstrokes. I draw the general shape wherever my pen is going downward and then carefully fill it in. I also thickened the rest of the lines just a little bit on these bigger words because, like I said, the pen was really fine, and I purposely decided not to dot the lowercase I since I wanted to figure out what to put there later. I followed the same process for the next word. One reason why I really like doing the fake calligraphy is that you can use any pen you want. You don't need a fancy brush pen that will give you varying stroke width. It could be a ballpoint pen or even a piece of chalk. And once you get used to where the downstrokes are and get some practice, it's pretty easy to do. For the lines where the words are smaller, I didn't thicken them up as much to make sure that there would be plenty of space between the letters. And I decided to add some decorative swoops and curves to the beginning and end of the word nerve. I'm making that one pretty bold just to give this section some more weight. So back to that I decided to draw the stars that are at the top of the pages of the American Harry Potter books in a triangle shape. I thought that added a fun little nod to the books. Then I drew these little sparks on the end of this line over here. Next, I decided to paint the pumpkin stem gold. This was the part of the pumpkin that looked the most fake to me, and I'd seen some YouTube videos where they painted the stem gold, so I went with that. I just colored over the whole thing with a medium point gold Sharpie paint pen, and that required a lot less setup than taking it outside to spray paint it. It worked pretty well. Then, because I was kind of figuring this out as I went, I made a last-minute addition of 3 more chapter stars over on the left side of the quote. To draw these, I made a little 6-pointed asterisk, filled in the center with some curved lines, and filled out the points a bit. And that is the finished hand-lettered Harry Potter pumpkin I painted. This particular pen ended up being more glossy than I expected even once it dried, but that's okay. I kept it simple, but feel free to add more drawings and glitter and whatever you want. If you try this out yourself, post a photo on social media and tag me at LaurenFairWX so I can see how it turned out. Now that you have a pretty and nerdy hand-lettered pumpkin, why don't you check out some more of my Halloween tutorials? I put together a Halloween playlist of some past costume, accessories, and decor DIYs that you might like. They're some of my all-time favorite projects, and most of them are Harry Potter themed because it's me. Click on the card in the top right or read the video description for a link to the playlist. I hope you have a happy and crafty Halloween. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.